and obviously the composition that we have here are going to clash between these two teams right now for game number 2 of Onic and Blacklist International. Now, Onic Philippines, it's very apparent that they also have to wait for this Iksha timer, right? Because Iksha isn't really strong early on.
Yep, although Flicker has been used already for Yoshinu. So this is a battle of pokes again at the middle lane. So probably majority of the happenings will be on that area.
Yeah. Top tier career most picked heroes, by the way, for Ryzen. It's actually Lancelot.
It's just a graphic that's showing that he's a very assassin-oriented player.
Yeah.
Even when playing tanks, he actually does play them like assassins a little bit. So
From Lancelot, Paquito, and Link to Baksha, Martis, and even Fridrin. So a nice adjustment there for Ryzen. I mean, for MPL Philippines, you just really have to adjust on what's really effective.
Yeah, and speaking of adjustments, it's a good adjustment by Blacklist, knowing the fact that the Onic draft is a little bit better, that they have 3 Wilderness Blessings on these key heroes. The Terizla, the Valentina, and of course, the Rafaela. So now that turns the focus of the game to them rotating more together towards the middle, around the river area, so that you can take it to Onic Philippines, and that's why Yoshinu was caught out earlier. He didn't expect a massive rotation suddenly by Edward into the mid after a quick clear in the EXP lane against Edith, and that's what something Yoshinu has to watch out for here.
yeah, and you gotta watch out as well for the way that their Blacklist are gonna contest this turtle, because it's deceptive, but the Rafael is just such a very difficult hero to deal with. But right now, Onic, they're adjusting to that by throwing 4 people straight into the turtle. This could be bad.
We will see a balance zone, but real world manipulation for Super Prince. And Sui's already half alive, but look at Yoshinu! Still alive with a Cyclone Ice, so players of Onic are forced to back away while Blacklist International will start this turtle objective. Even Ryzen can't really secure this jungle.
That was so smart because Yue took the primal wrap. Oh my god!
Exactly! And that was the crucial X factor of that fight. Because yes, if you go back to mech form immediately, you'll have access to Onward and the Earth Shatter. So Yue, of course, utilized the Primal Wrath, dealt damage, but when he goes into the mech, he has the possibility of getting the crowd control that the Edith has. So now that's what Onic needs to watch out for here when Yue becomes Edith.
Does the mech have a name? I think it has a name. I have to remember that. Anyway, that's going to happen later on. Renegade!
Okay, uses the ultimate just to be able to escape that aggression from Onic Philippines. So Blacklist International really playing smart this time around. Again, with the switching, or all along I thought that Yue is to use the IMU on the real world manipulation. Then went for that Edith. So Yue at the middle lane, still alive. Uses that flicker. We have Edward. Same goes with the real world manipulation. Gem's gonna be down. First blood for Blacklist.
Well, what do you know? It's a trap card. It was a reverse card
so
for some reason.
There's no opportunity here for Onic. If they want to zone out a specific player, they have to be continuous on the moment. Okay, so nice setup play from Yoshinu, and even the real world manipulation for Super Prince. Edward still alive. And we have Ryzen. Nope.
Look at that. Because of Renegade, they're just walking out of the real world. No problem.
Yeah, the healing, that's why the Rafaela was projected. And Blacklist, despite playing a draft that should have been projected really well by Onic, again, they're just playing better. And that's what the thing we mentioned about Onic. They just need to play better. So whether or not Yue decides to steal Phylax away from Gem or steal the real world manipulation, there's a lot of things to consider.
Phylax, thank you for that.
Got you.
I was trying to remember that.
I totally did not just hop into the in-game client to remember it. I just dug deep and remembered.
I can vouch to that.
Yeah, I asked my ancestors, what's the name of Edith's mech? And they whispered in the wind, it was Phylax. I hear a lot of voices in my head. Back to the game.
Yeah, we might have to get that checked later, but you know, we can talk about it.
Anyway. Now,
right.
I hear some whispering that there's going to be a team fight here again for the turtle objective taking.
Edward.
So, nice onward here. But Edward's still alive though. Does the flicker plus penalty zone just to be able to back away again from Onyx's threat. So this is going to be a long one. But I think Sensui is here and ready for that heavy spin retribution play. And right now, Sensui and the rest of the players of Blacklist International Super Friends will use that real world.
No!
After a long poke It's gonna be Sensui on the turtle take.
Wow, a big thank you there is in order, Mr. Sensui. Why don't you thank him, right? Thank you for whittling down that turtle there.
What's
And
that song again? Thank you, next.
Thank
For
you. Next.
Sensui.
Not to mention, they also got the tower on the bottom for Brody.
Yeah.
Oh,
now
man.
Blacklist is saying thank you, Nets. It seems
Thank
like
you,
Onic really wanted to get a big win already as a 5 versus 4. But this is the condition we were talking about here. When there are teams going up against another team playing on Eve, usually they're not going to full 5v5. They will consider the option of sending someone to the opposite lane, either 2 or 1 player, and then just split push instead. And that's what Blacklist International did. Now, looking at the items, it was the Heptasis prioritized by Oheb and the Corrosion Scythe. Of course, as expected, already there for Nets. The Markman still very close, but because Onic decided to sacrifice their bottom lane, they lost a lot of gold there to favor the marksman of Blacklist International.
What a very aggressive movement there from Ryzen, going straight into Oheb, maybe threatening a little bit, and just reminding Blacklist that you cannot let your guard down.
Yep, still holding on that top lane turret, but Blacklist International will be able to secure that one. And we could see Sensui here at the purple buff. Same goes to the players of Blacklist International while all other minion waves are flowing. Wow, another one for Sensui.
Thank you.
Next.
Thank you, Nets.
And now Blacklist are thanking Onic for
Thank
the
you.
purple buff.
That song's stuck in my head now.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's a great song.
It's a great song.
And right now, Onyx just playing to the tune of Blacklist. Again, it just seems like the layering of abilities as well for Onic and their timings in terms of like counting which specific abilities, the holy healing, and then of course the little what do you call it, bump, the belly bump, the headbutt of the Akai as well. They're not taking into consideration that much. Seems like Yoshinu, Gem, Super Friends need to layer their abilities a little bit better when it comes to the team fights when that opportunity arises. Because right now, sometimes it's a little bit too early or a little bit too late.
Yeah, that's a 1,000-pounder here. I think the damage of that's also a little bit deceptive, right? You don't really expect that too much, but it's there. And the passive as well of the Akai, something we never talk about. So always keep that in mind. That's percent HP damage.
Yup, and Blacklist International is just playing consistently for this game, and a 3.2k goal lead, and it's as if Onic is restricted on finding the players of Blacklist because Yoshi was just waiting for the perfect opportunity. But Blacklist is just ready if ever there is an aggression from Onic.
But you know what? No matter how bad this goes, I personally have been playing the Iksha with an 83% win rate.
Wow.
And I would
The
say,
flex.
yeah, it's just a small flex there. No matter how bad it happens, as long as everyone lines up at the very late game into the full barrage, they're going to get destroyed, no matter how bad the game goes. So there's always going to be that late game mentality here for Onic that they got to keep in mind that, guys, we still have room to move here.
Yeah.
Just give me some gold. That's the Nets line there.
All right, because Nets is still at 0 deaths for this game, so probably still waiting again for that late game. Although Blacklist International is just compressing Onic Philippines on their first tier turret here at the middle lane.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a possible way for Onic to come back here because right now they're getting outplayed in terms of the macro. They might actually lose their bottom tower here with how Blacklist are positioning now, moving forward to allow the minion waves and Edward to push forward. Here comes Sensui.
Okay, Sensui's gonna be the target for Onic, but no enough damage from them. No minion wave, and just when Renber said Blacklist International secures that turret at the bottom lane.
Sensui just tanked those free heroes for a solid 10 seconds, and he's still alive. That is really something.
Yeah, the man has a Radiant armor on him, so of course those three trying to take him down, that Eve and the box together, that won't be enough to take down that Akai.
All right, so it's going to be a big dance here. I don't think this is going to be a long one because Edward seems to be ready to jump in at the moment's notice. Waiting for maybe Ryzen and Gem to make a small misstep here.
Yeah, what I want to see here is Super Friends and Nets not stacking up together. Wherever they're going to put down their ultimates, it has to be quite a distance from each other. So Blacklist has to choose who to dive. They can't stick.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of a window for Edward to just jump on that penalty zone, and they don't have any Purify, by the way. to counter that one out.
They're throwing everything.
Yue has the ultimate of the Eve. You have to watch out for that, Onic.
Okay, so Blacklist International is pushing forward. And the Lord is already low on life. So Ryzen is here. Is there going to be an entry point? But Ryzen is going to be the target here for the side of Blacklist International. And Sensui will secure that Lord plus the kill for Oheb against Ryzen now.
For some reason, the copied ult here from Yue hurts a lot more than the OG. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Well, she also deals magic damage, so does make sense.
And a higher level, yeah.
That was a messy attempt at trying to get vision and trying to win that Lord fight. Questionable positioning and decision-making there by Onic yet again. One of their biggest problems right now. A team that had a 5-series win streak at one point. Seems like they're forgetting what made them so good.
Yeah, I think Super Friend's just a little bit passive with the real world as well. There were so many moments earlier that he could have actually went for it, maybe closer to the Lord. And in the end, he completely didn't use the ult at all.
It could have been a go signal here for Onic to go for a setup play. But yep, Blacklist International, they have the Lord. But it's easy for Onic to defend this one out.
Yep.
There might be a jump from Blacklist because all minion waves are flowing both top lane, or all lanes actually. So, okay!
Oh!
That we have been saying, 5-man penalty zone, but Edward is going to be down. So we have the counter kill here for Onic. And a real world manipulation as well for Super Prince.
What I tell you, that full barrage, you gotta respect it. Even with a beautiful initiation there from Edward, it was just Blacklist being forced to back out completely.
I don't know if Onic were purposefully trying to bait that out.
I don't think so.
Because like as 5 members sticking together next to the wall, knowing you're up against a Terizla with a flicker, as well as a Rafaela, it could have been a bait out because Nets was able to flicker away and then had a really good position for a full barrage. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that was a bait.
You're not sure though.
I hope that's it.
But a risky bait.
It was
a
risky.
very risky bait. Because really, like the whole time I was thinking, oh, you guys really want to stick together that close to the wall?
And that was just right after Rockhart said that there might be a jump.
Yeah, there might be a jump.
From Edward, and then Edward came in
Straight
with a
up.
5-man penalty zone.
Yeah, little bro never fails to disappoint in that regard. He's gonna go for it when his eyes, when he sees that moment, his eyes gonna turn red. Like an anime, and just jump on it.
Yeah, and I know there's something up really today with the comms with Onic. Not so headstrong, not so sure compared to the past. I don't know if it's getting to the point where their lose streak that they're on ever since getting snapped by Echo last week is starting to get to them. But this doesn't feel like the Onic playstyle that went on that 5-series win streak.
I like it that you mentioned that there might be a problem on the comms of Onic because before, it's as if we have 2 players, both Roamer and even Gem, trying to do some crowd controls or initiation, but this time around, it's as if there's a disconnect on who to target, which one is the first that we will deal damage to. So it's something that Onic has to adjust because it's already 30 minutes of our game.
I actually agree. At the same time, I'm looking at Onic, and I remember the draft index, and I remember they don't really have burst. So it looks like they may be targeting the same people, but they're not dying. So it just feels like they're disconnected.
Well,
I don't know.
Gotta watch out for Oheb.
Oh, Oheb on the sides.
I know, just getting the vision.
That is a very nice bait as well for Blacklist International. So easy Lord for them. And the minion wave is flowing again on the top lane. So for Onic Philippines, we've mentioned about burst. So in terms of clearing of minion wave, they still have nets and the rest of the players of Onic, but you don't really want to use that real-world manipulation just to clear the minion wave.
Oh, there's going to be a tough defense. But again, Onic has fantastic high ground here. They just need to position really well and time their abilities better.
That's true. And Nets, again, the micro is there. The movements are there. They just have to make it work. They just have to mesh it together. See if that's going to happen here.
You have the Lord now, but it's being defended here by Onic. We have the heavy spin for Sensui just to zone out the players. And Ryzen is forced to back away.
Oh!
We have Oheb as the target. But look at Edward again on the penalty zone. Full barrage
Wow!
by Nets, but not enough damage for Onic as the tower lock, base lock. Blacklist wins with a sweep.